In the previous video, we did some calculations, and we had numbers like the work equals 1, and the work equals 2, and the work equals 6. But you know enough about physics now to know we need to know 1 what, 2 what, 6 what. Well, let's do an exploration of the units. The simplest thing we can do with any formula to figure out the units is just put in units into the formula. So we can say the work is force, and we know force has units of newtons, and the change in position has units of meters. So the units of work are newton meters. Well, we can also look at force, and since we know force is equal to mass times acceleration, we could put mass times acceleration times delta x. And we can see that mass, we know that mass has units of kilograms, and acceleration has units of meters per second squared, and displacement has units of meters. So when we combine these, we end up with kilogram meters squared per second squared. So the units of work are newton meters or kilogram meters squared per second squared. We can safely say that 1 newton meter equals 1 kilogram meter squared per second squared. Now that's a mouthful. Kilogram meter squared per second squared. Even newton meter is a mouthful. What we do sometimes in science, just like we did with newtons, where earlier in the course, we learned that a kilogram meters per second squared is a newton. We can take a mouthful and give it another name, and we do. This unit is a joule, abbreviated J. Now, what we would say is that this is the units in fundamental units. And we would say that newton meter is derived units, and so is a joule. It is also a derived unit. The units being derived from something more fundamental. So there are indeed 3 different units we could use for work: newton meter, kilogram meter squared per second squared, and a joule.